On June 6, 2026, at East vs West 24, we saw one of the largest arm wrestling upsets in modern history. Artyom Morozov has managed to dismantle the number 3 in the world, Ermes Gasparini, the man with the literal highest riser and back pressure numbers I have ever seen. Virtually no one expected Morozov to win, making it one of the most one-sided prediction polls ever. Heck, even I predicted Ermes to win 4-0, saying that Ermes is gonna have the superior top row. And for very good reasons. Ermes almost toppled Morozov even on the left, an arm that is 20% weaker than his right. Morozov was coming back from a wrist surgery. He should have had a huge weakness in the wrist, which is exactly Ermes is built on exposing. His entire style is based on taking his opponent's wrist. Ermes should have been unhookable and also unfloppable. I have never seen Ermes Gasparini losing when he takes the hand. Later it was even revealed that Morozov had issues with his right elbow before the match. He got sick, he lost 8 kilos, he couldn't even fully prepare for the match. So how the hell did the Terminator beat Ermes Gasparini? Many fans said it was due to the elbow injury Ermes suffered during the match, but I disagree with that statement. It was the socks, guys. Obviously the cooler socks always win. Now, seriously, to get to the bottom of this, we first have to go back in history. February 15th, 2025, East vs West 16. The left arm super heavyweight world title bout. Artyom Morozov at that point is the title holder, holding an 8-match win streak. But in his way now stands his biggest challenge yet. The Russian skyscraper, the giant, the Siberian bear, Vitaly Laletin. The man many view as the future best of the sport. In this match, almost everyone believes Vitaly is gonna absolutely smash Artyom. He dismantled everyone on his path to the world title fight, including Artyom on the right hand. On the left, he crushed Tobias Sporong and Kamil Jablonski. Also, he had many of these matches before he even stopped being a full-time truck driver. And now he was finally fully committing to the sport. So he was likely coming in the best shape of his life. But Morozov would show us something unbelievable in this match. In the first round, he managed to crack Vitaly's wrist, something literally no one expected him to do. Then he would even go on to flop press him, and it seemed like he would actually take the match. But then Vitaly hit hard to the side, and Morozov suffered a devastating injury. And from that point on, Vitaly is holding the super heavyweight title to this day. That injury pretty much deleted all of Morozov's left arm momentum, and he would be forced to switch fully on the right, at least for the time being. There he'd go on to defeat Alex Kurdecha. He managed to easily suck Alex inside, get it arm on arm, but when he attempted to go outside in the last round, his hand actually got cracked, but he had just such overwhelming side pressure that it didn't even matter. But after that match, another problem. His right arm also suffered an injury. And now it was a huge problem. Both arms weren't now at peak form. It was unsure whether they could even return to 100%. Was Morozov done after this? Well, on the left arm, at East vs West 23 in April, his comeback match there would be against the unstoppable Alijan Muratov. Morozov tried a different strategy, trying to top roll Alijan, but that proved to be absolutely impossible. But he felt miserably against the Kazakh hook god. And that increased the doubts about Morozov's state. When his right arm match got announced against Ermes Gasparini, people started underestimating him hard. Because, I mean, everything pointed to it. The wrist injury, a supposed weakness in the wrist and the rise even before that. The fact that Ermes was likely unhookable and unfloppable at the same time, which completely countered Morozov's style. The predictions were like 90-10 in the favor of Ermes. But then this happened. In the first round, even before the grip, Ermes seemed to be super unhappy about the setup. He kept moving in there, he tried to get comfortable, but he simply couldn't. His style revolves around a posting top roller, where he has the shorter lever very often in the super heavyweight division, so he can get extremely vertical in the setup, and that became even more apparent in the straps. And when the ready go finally happened, Morozov managed to fully contain Ermes's top roll surge with a superior back pressure and rise. What the hell was even happening at this point? And then he would transition to the offense. Executing the cleanest can opener I have ever seen in my life. He kept his pronator beautifully, cracked Ermes's wrist, and from there he was fully in control. Took him inside and absolutely crushed him. In the second round, Ermes once again looked very uncomfortable in the setup. It somehow seemed that Morozov, with his own pressure, was fighting off the riser and back pressure of Ermes. How was that even happening? It didn't make sense. And off the go, I think that's where we finally got to see the true weakness of Ermes, where the problem was. Off the go, he attempts to drive. He kind of gets it on his side of the table, but the more he tries going to the side, the more his wrist starts sliding down. The riser starts dropping, and I think that's due to the upper fingers being unable to contain Morozov's newly built top roll. And I think that's the main weakness of Ermes Gasparini. The high cup. A high cup is absolutely crucial for a top roller, especially if he doesn't have a longer lever, because there is a lot of pressure coming to him from his opponent's side. More on how Morozov managed to build his top roll later, but for now let's focus on the third round. There, a quick shift would occur. Ermes finally seemed to get a good position in the setup. The buckle was on Morozov's side, so he truly got very vertical, he was able to get super high. And when the round started, Ermes' wrist held out just enough and the riser didn't drop, and his pronator could fully attack Morozov's wrist. From there, when he tried to pin, his wrist was going slightly with every surge when he got near to the pin pad, but he still finished off the match with a flop. Fourth round, Ermes tried repeating that. He again surged first, but the fingers again didn't have enough of a bite on the hand of Morozov, and that became fully apparent when Morozov counterattacked and easily flash-pinned him from there. In the fifth round, the buckle was now again on Morozov, and off the go it was quite an even force output for the athletes, but again it was very visible this round. When Morozov started pronating, Ermes' wrist simply couldn't hold. So 4-1 for Morozov. How the hell was that even possible? How did Morozov build a stronger top roll than Ermes, who's been a top roll specialist his whole life with record-breaking numbers, while Morozov was injured and he was a hook specialist the whole time? Where did this even come from? Well, once again, let's go back in history. The first factor that I believe caused Ermes' loss was his weakness against long-levered top rollers. I have spoken about this before on my channel, but it seems to be exposing itself over and over again. Ermes, unlike most elite super heavyweight top rollers, doesn't have the longest lever. He often goes up against opponents who are structurally just larger than him, and that puts enormous torque on his wrist, which results in him getting cracked. And there is long historical evidence about this phenomena occurring again and again. In 2019, back at WAL, Ermes was the heavy favorite against Mad Mask. But Mad Mask is a long-levered top roller, he can use his frame very well, and he cracked Ermes' wrist like butter. 2 years later, Ermes would get a revenge, but not without any problems, because in one round he did get flash-pinned once again, even though in that match he was like 50 pounds heavier and he improved massively. Then a few months later, in November 2021, Ermes would face the giant Alex Krdecha, and once again the wrist got exposed. In 2023, he was the super heavyweight champion of the world, but once again, this time against Devon Larratt, another long lever top roller, the wrist simply just couldn't hold up. I'm not gonna speak about Levan Saginashvili because he kinda does that to everyone on the planet. But now, it also happened against Morozov. Because Morozov, even though he was a hook puller for most of his career, is also a long levered puller. His forearm is very long, and it's a great matchup against someone like Ermes if he wants to post as well. It's not like Vitaly Letin, because Vitaly's forearm is so long that he had to drop down in that match. It's that just slight height advantage. That's the perfect spot for the taller guy. So the wrist couldn't hold up, and that follows nicely to my next argument, and that's again the high cup. When we go into the specificity of the wrist, I think the main issue is due to the lack of the upper fingers holding up. The high cup, in my opinion, is arguably the most important arm wrestling exercise for top roll that there is. Again, coming back to that argument of a short lever top roller. If a person has a long lever, I would think that it's more about the pronator, but for the short forearm guys, like me for example, I just need to have that iron cup. But even with that possible weakness, that weakness wouldn't get exposed against like 90% of the elites. Ermes is just on such a high strength level that it shouldn't have even been apparent against Morozov, who shouldn't have been in a great shape, which was later said that he lost like 8 kilos and he was sick and everything. So how did Morozov out of all people, become such an insane top roller? Well, here's something I have been able to dig up in the archives, let's say. In July 2025, Artyom Morozov, as many of you know, suffered a wrist injury on the right arm. It was a torn collateral ligament on the wrist. The doctor immobilized his wrist, he got some MRIs, and eventually he would even be forced to get a surgery. And for some reason, that surgery seemed to have altered his wrist in a way that his riser is literally undroppable, truly becoming one with the nickname, the Terminator. That, coupled with him focusing fully on the top roll, clearly morphed him into one of the best top rollers on the planet, it seems right now. So that's how Artyom Morozov defeated Ermes Gasparini. And now the question is, what is next for him? Well, it seems like it's bad news once again. It just seems like Morozov cannot get a break, because it seems like now he has a TFCC tear in his wrist. So it's gonna be a few months off for him, but who knows, maybe later he's gonna have like a undestructible pro intro. Who knows what's gonna happen next. So that's everything from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, get the pay-per-views, and that's everything from me for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.